gathering the makings to build a charcoal grill. Bought me some expanded metal and found some grates and some tubing. I have a propane tank that it's going to be the grill. I'm going to cut it about here, make a lid. It'll fold up that way. Cut all this off. I'm not going to show you how I took this valve off, because that would be dangerous. So now what I do, to be absolutely sure this is purged, I take this up to the garden hose, fill it up with water, and drain it out. I honestly don't believe there's a drop of propane left in there, because this thing has been open for 2 years I've had it. And but I'm going to be safe. I'm just going to fill it up with water so I don't have to think about it. Fill it up with water, drain it, and it's purged. And then what I need is about 5 foot of 4x4 tubing, or some 4-inch round tubing, and a steel rim off an 18-wheeler. And I think I know where I can get both of them. I may do that tomorrow. My friend Dwayne's coming over tomorrow for a little while, and when he leaves, I'll probably go to scrounging. I'm hoping to start this next week. Alright, there's the bottom ring. Now, get this top off, and then I grind these smooth, patch them. I'm getting them ahead of myself. I'm going to cut my door first, but I'm going to get this off next. Well, I was digging around in my junk pile, and I found a 4x4 piece of square tubing that is plenty long enough. So now all I need to find is a steel 18-wheeler rim, and I don't live too far from Tango Transportation's yard. As a matter of fact, I had my truck leased onto them for a couple of years back when they were all owner-operator, and maybe somebody up there will remember me and sell me or give me a bent rim or something I can straighten out. But Dwayne's coming to visit today, so I'm going to hang around till Dwayne shows up, drink some coffee, and whenever he leaves, I'm going to go on up there to Tango and see if I can get a rim. Because it's all coming together. Here's a little BC truck shop tip. When you're putting that little straw in the nozzle of your WD-40 can, you should aim the damn thing away from your face. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Well, this is the smokestack that I'm going to put on top of the grill. I'm not going to be using it as a smoker, but you do have to let the heat escape, or else it's just going to burn your food. And then I've made a lid so I can control the heat. And I'm just going to weld that bolt right here, and let's see if I can do this with one hand. Anyway, that will pivot open and closed on this bolt, and then I'm going to weld this little bolt to the top right there so I can just have something to grab a hold of. I'm just getting the little things done that I know I'm going to do anyway, so until I get that steel rim, I only got like a rough plan in my head, but I knew how I was going to do this, and I dug out a scrap bin over there, and I found what I needed. But you remember this? I still got blood on the floor. Right there. Bloody footprints from that. Well, I tell you what, I have a lot of accidents in here. I probably shouldn't be left alone. That's what I was going for. That is the chimney. And I control the heat of the stove via opening and closing this. Little steps. I'm going to clean that up, set it to the side. And then I believe I'm going ahead, I got to get my wife out here to help me mark it. I got to put a string around this and have her just mark a line on the string so I'll know where to cut. That's next. All right, this is fixing to be the handle here. Let me get that welded up and all grinded down. And it's a bit long, but it's metal, so I gotta kind of keep it away from the body of the grill or it won't get so red hot that I can't open it, and it still may get hot, but we'll see. If it does, I'll just use a pair of tongs to open it or something, but I want to make it out of metal. All right, let me get to welding this up. Yeah, there's the handle. Whew. Well, there's the two halves. Or actually not quite half, because I cut above this. And I only used 4 discs. Cutting discs. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Alrighty, let's see. What's next? I may go to cleaning this up. I'm going to see if I got any paint stripper, because it'd be easier to slather some paint stripper on this and then put my sander on it after I get the paint off it, then waste a whole sanding pad on the paint to get down to the metal. Alrighty, I haven't got that rim yet. I still need to go do that before the day's out. Well, there's the chimney. Now I'm going to grind this up, put my handle on. I'm liking it. Well, let's see. I don't know where I want to go next. I guess I just have to break down, stop, and go get the rim, because a lot of other things count on how high the rim is where I'm going to be mounting this, because I need to measure my pipe from the bottom half to the rim and see where it's going to hit me, you know, when I stand up and cook at it. And this is about as far as I can go without having that rim. I could put the hinge on this, but I was thinking I might sand this all off or clean this all off before I weld them together. That way it's not so hard to work with. Anyway, I'll figure something out. I may just stop and go get that rim. Well, Dwayne never did come over today, and I hung around all day not wanting to leave and go get my rim, thinking he might be here any minute, and I finally called him and said he wasn't going to make it today, and it was too late to go get a rim, so I did get a lot done. I still have to go get a 1-inch plug for that. Well, I'm liking it. I got my grate. I'll cut that tomorrow. I may have this done tomorrow. If I can get my rim, I will have this finished tomorrow. Good morning. I got to make the next step, or one step that I'm going to do next or shortly, is I'm going to make a cradle for this to set in. I'm going to cut a cradle in that 4x4 piece of tubing for this to set down in. And I need to know what radius to cut the cradle out at. And you know, I'm not good at math. Mathematically challenged. So I got online and I found out how to determine the diameter of a circle based on its circumference. And you use this mathematical formula called bacon. Oh wait, that's pi. And you measure the circumference and you divide it by 3.14, and that gives you the diameter. And when I get the diameter, I'm going to cut it in half, and that will give me the radius. So let me go to doing my figuring here, and I'll get back to you. Well, here's what I have. The circumference divided by pi, which is 3.14, comes out to 12.26, or 12 and right at a quarter inch. That looks like more than 12 and a quarter. Sure does. I have to do this again. Anyway, that's the number I'm coming up with. That would be from the center of the tank to the outer edge of the radius. 6.13, which I'm going to call that 6 1/8 if this is correct. I'm going to remeasure and make sure this is right. All right, my measurements were correct. The number is right, and it's 6.13, so I'm going to go with 6 1/8. And here's what I've done. I put a screw in here, and a hunk of wire, and I measured out 6 1/8 inch. There's the line right there. I'm going to slide my cardboard underneath this. Can't do this with one hand. I'm going to put my pencil in here, and I'm going to draw my angle this way and cut it out and see if it'll match that. But I don't have my tripod out here, and I'm using my camera, so let me shut this off and see if it'll work. When you come back, I'll have this cut out. I lied, I don't have it cut out yet, but I just wanted to show you the radius that I was able to trace out using that. All right, now I'm going to cut it out. There we go. Let's give it a shot. Oh my God, math, you are so cool. Why did I hate you as a child? Why? Wow, math won. I used to hate Brussels sprouts too, and now I love them. Math, you're awesome. Look at that boy, looking all handsome with the sun shining on him. You a good boy. You're my good boy. My shop dog. I'm fixing to add a couple of little minor details. When this lid opens, it's just going to flop all the way back. So I'm welding a couple of stops. I'm welding this right here. And this right here. So when I open it, it'll have a position that it stops in. So I'm going to get to welding. There we go. To some, this is going to seem like overkill, but you know, it's mine. I'm making it for me, and this is how I'm going to do it because that's the way I want it. I'm going to cut this off here. I'm leaving this top piece. I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to fold it down over this, weld it all the way around so it's completely sealed. I don't want wasps, I don't want water in there. And then I'll put my radius on there, and that's about what I'm going to want there. And then I'll put the grill on there and weld it up. Back to work. All right, I'm going to weld this up. Clean it up with my grinder, let it cool down, and then cut my arch. This is where the tank's going to set, and then back here ways I'm going to cut a 45 and bend this down this way, and that end will get, I say rim, but here's the thing. I do have another idea in my head, and I might not use the rim. I can't find one, and I haven't gone up to Tango Transport. I just cannot bring myself to walk up somewhere and ask for something. I don't know why. And I know they don't sell them. They probably, if they have a bad rim, they probably throw it in a scrap bin. But I just can't make myself walk up somewhere and say, hey, can I have something? You don't know me, and you know. Anyway, if I can't figure out another place to get a rim, I have another avenue I'm going to pursue. I actually have something. It's a great big compressor tank that I may cut the top third off of and turn it over, fill it up with concrete, and then weld the other end to the top of it. I don't know if it would be stable enough, but that's a thought. All right, I'm gonna get my grinder out, clean that up. All right, now I'm gonna set the stove in there and see how it sits. If I need to do any, you know, fine tuning with the grinder. Yep, that'll work. I'm not going to weld it in yet. Now, I really can't go any further until I come to a conclusion as to what I'm going to use for a base. Because if the base is wide, then I have to move the 45 out, you know, where I'm going to bend this into a 90. I have to move that out a little further. If it's a skinny base, I can, you know, move it in a little further. So I really got no choice now. I got to stop and figure out what I'm going to do for a base. All right, I've thought about it. I drank some coffee. I thought about it some more. I drank another cup. I'm definitely going to use this big compressor tank. What I'm going to do is cut the bottom off. I'll use this bead as just as a means of making it square. I'm going to tip it up. I'm cutting this off, grind it up, make it look nice. I'm going to cut a square hole in it that size. Slide this down into it with a flat base, and I'm going to see how tippy it's going to be. If it's too easily tipped over, what I'm going to do is pour 2 80-pound bags, 160 pounds of concrete on the bottom. And if that don't hold it, nothing will. All right, let me get to work. There's that, and it's the right length and everything. when I set the stove on here, the height of the grilling surface is right at, you know, the perfect height for me. And what I did was use that strap it up against that pole, set the stove on it, and just stand there like I was cooking. Of course, now I'm hungry. But yeah, I got it at the right height. So now I can proceed. I'm actually gonna, this is gonna be the top. I'm gonna cut a square hole here to fit that down in the middle. Cut the bottom off. And the reason I'm switching ends here, because this has got more crap on it. I mean, that end, all I gotta do is cut one hole here and it's gonna be right around that. And to use that end, I'd have had to cut a whole bunch of crap off. So anyway, fixing to cut the end. I have one blade. I hope I don't break it. Oh, Lordy. I actually found some cheap ones. Firestorm, Black & Decker. And I went through 4, 5 of them. If you ever wanted to see how much rust forms inside a compressor tank if you don't drain it, there it is. Which reminds me, I gotta drain mine after I'm finished with this. All right, I'm gonna get this up. I'm gonna cut that square hole in the top, set this on the floor, stick that in there, and we'll have a look at it. That's what it's gonna look like. And I've tugged on it a little bit, and it is just a, I mean, if I wasn't very, very careful, I would pull it towards me. And I think one 80-pound bag will do it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to weld the bottom on it. I'm going to take that back out, mix up a 80-pound bag of concrete, put it in there, put this down in it, and let it harden. And then come weld this on. And then clean it all up, sand it, get all them decals off of it, smooth it up, and paint it. I was going to go red and then the barbecue black because it'll burn off on that. But I think I'm just going to do it all in black. Alright, we're getting there. A bottom, which I think I have a piece in there, scrap, that I can take my plasma cutter and cut me a piece out. And then, oh, wait a minute. I wonder if I could invert that. I may do that. Invert that, tack it on there, and just pour the concrete on top of that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use that bottom. I'm going to cut a bottom out, but I'm going to use that to go around with my plasma cutter. And that'll give me enough to weld onto the other tank. So let me get cranked up. All right, I'm gonna put it on a grinder to clean up the edges, and I'll put the tank on there and go to welding it on. Hey boys and girls, here's shop tip number 2. When you're grinding, always keep a garden hose handy. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Good morning. Let's go see what my compressor drained out. Last night, I opened the valve. Oh, holy crap. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I did that. I can't believe I let it go so long. Jeez. That's the water that was in the bottom of my compressor. Don't drink that, Breezy. Get away. You don't want to drink rusty water. Look at the amount of that water. Jeez. I can't believe I let it go so long. I'm going to have to be a lot more diligent about draining my compressor, because now that I'm a member of the lower rung of the socioeconomic ladder, it's not likely I'll be able to buy another one anytime soon. So I got to take care of the stuff I have. Yep. Note to self, start draining that thing more often. Well, I guess that would be a good shop tip too, a real shop tip without me spraying myself in the eye or starting a fire. always drain your, they say every day, I don't know if it's necessary every day, but if you use your compressor a lot, once a week would be nice. Here's another thing. Oh, by the way, let me show you something I just saw. You don't see that very often. This compressor is only about 10 or 12 years old. Check your oil and your air breather. Clean side, dirty side. I'm gonna blow that out. Well, I got the base welded on and cleaned up with a wire brush. Okay, let me give you a close-up of one of my better welds. Okay. I'm an amateur welding with a 110 wire welder, so I'm kind of proud of my welds. I'm getting better with this thing. It really is I'll show you. It is so persnickety where you set the heat and the wire speed. I finally got it right for this thickness of metal. This stuff, my God, it's so easy to burn through. I had the temperature on the lowest setting and it just kept burning through. But I got it. Okay, now I am gonna do some serious sanding and cleaning that up while it's light enough for me to move around. So that's next. And then today I'll put the concrete in and put this down in it in the center, make sure it's square and level. And tomorrow I'll weld that on. Finally, I'm getting to the point where I can finish this. It's just been one interruption after another. This has a plastic coating on it that has dry rotted and is, you're not going to be able to paint over it. The paint won't stick to it. And it's taken me forever to get it off. But what I found that works, see, I went through a whole sanding pad. It's all plugged up with that plastic thing. So that's $6 wasted. I had a can of this that's been in my shop, in my cupboard there for ages. And just had a little bit left. So, and it worked fantastic. So I went and bought a new can. And this is actually going to save me a bunch of money on pads. So I'll show you, you know what spray looks like. So I'm going to spray this down, and I'm going to show you how easy this comes off. It's good stuff. It's called Clean Strip, and it melts right through the plastic and the paint down to the metal. Yeah, works good. I went ahead and welded these nuts on the bottom to keep this up off the ground so this doesn't rust out underneath it. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Alright, I got 80 pounds of cement in there. You can see the water seeping out the weep holes I cut in there, and that's what I put them there for. I got this, I got it tacked square. I'm not going to weld it up until, you know, there's a gap around here, and maybe that'll let some moisture out. I'm probably going to leave this till tomorrow. Actually, I think I'm going to the farmer's market tomorrow, so maybe I'll do a little more on Sunday. Alright, thanks for watching. I know this is a long video, but I thought there might be some people out there that would like to see this get built from start to finish. It's kind of, I think it's kind of interesting looking, and you know, it satisfies my desire to express myself creatively. I can't paint, can't draw, I'm a lousy poet, and making stuff is the only way that satisfies that desire to create something that I have, that a lot of people have, and you just, like me, most people just can't figure out what to do to satisfy that, I don't know, that desire to express yourself creatively. You know, I think we all have it. Some people draw, some people write. Some people, you know, engage themselves in music and become real good at it, and I've tried lots and lots of stuff, and this is the only thing I'm good at that makes me feel good when I do it. All right, you've heard enough. See you tomorrow. Well, I was going to go to the farmer's market today, but I ate my own cooking last night, and I'm experiencing a certain condition that demands I remain in close proximity to a certain floor-mounted ceramic appliance. Okay? This is what we got here. I am so liking that. I mean, I know it's weird looking, but I got just a couple of things to do today. I gotta cut the grate out. Also, I forgot something, and that's vent holes. And I don't think this is a good enough vent hole. I think the vent holes are going to need to be down closer to where the charcoal would draw air in. So I'm just going to drill like maybe 4 half-inch holes. I still have to plug this up today. I'm going to get that. And I'm going to go get a bag of sand so I can sandblast this, because this is, you know, where I'm going to be laying my food. And I want that to be really clean. So I'm going to finish this today. I've already got that welded under there. And basically that's what I got left. Vent holes, make the grill, make a place inside the stove to mount it. You know, a couple of like angles to lay the grating on. And all right, let's get started. All right, I've got the grate that I'm going to be setting the charcoal on. Got my holes drilled. I've got my steak grate. And I've got these lips that I'm going to tack in here that the grate's going to set on. One there, one here. And then we're going to paint and body. Let me get these welded on. Okay. Now, clean up. I'm going to go ahead and paint the bottom red, but the tubing and the body of the stove, I'm going to paint barbecue black. And I'm not going to do that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to burn this thing in real good, get it real hot. Basically sanitize it and get all the metal cleaned. Burn it in, and then I'm going to paint it. First I got to clean all the slag and splatter off of it, get it shined up, ready for paint, and then I'll take it outside and burn it in. Well, there we go. If you've made it this far through the video, I appreciate you watching. I know it was long, and I was going to include some cooking video, but I've got one more coat of red to put on, and that red has to dry for 24 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and put this video up because it's so long. And the next time you see this, I will be cooking on it, and it will have the second coat of red on it. And I'll call the video cooking on the homemade grill or something. You'll know it. So here we go. And I'm putting this up now because tomorrow I'm going to be putting up my subscriber appreciation giveaway video. Thanks for watching, y'all.
With future tracks showing clear skies for most of us this evening. By early tomorrow morning, may see a little cloud cover here, I-30 northward, and just maybe a sprinkle or two up there in the extreme northern Arklatex, north of the Queen, in fact, north of Idabel there in Oklahoma. Perhaps a spot or two of some light rainfall, but most of us dry start today. Noontime tomorrow, still looking a little cloudy.